Hello, and welcome to the video guide for learning how to use TINKERCAD to create a 3D printed dice. If you'd like to access this document, you're going to use the URL right at the top up here. This will allow you to use the links in this document and make the experience a little easier for you. Our learning targets are to learn how to join the ICS class on TINKERCAD, use the instructions to be able to make the dice, and be able to send the file to the ICS email and print off your dice on a bamboo printer. Let's take a look at what we'll need to do. We're going to start off by going to tinkercad.com. From the TinkerCAD site, if you have a login, you can go to the upper right corner and log in. If you need to sign up, you're going to click right here. You can create your own personal account and then log in with a Gmail account of your own. Once you've logged in, you can join the Innovation Center of Stoughton class right here. You do not have to join this class in order to build some of the things that we're going to demonstrate. And so if you don't want to join the class, but you'd like to learn how to make a dice, you can go right here. This is the actual lesson we'll be working with today. It's called Die from Scratch. So I'm going to log in real quick to start. There we are. And now I'm going to start this up. It's going to look like this. You'll have the instructions on the left side. At the top left, you'll have the different views you can choose, changing the angle. And on the right, you have the objects and other tools that we're going to be using today. The first thing that we are going to do is move this plane around. You're going to use the right button in order to control the direction of the angle of the camera. In order to move objects, we're going to go to the object we want, which is at the bottom of the basic shapes. And we're going to click and drag this dice out. I do that with the left button. So click and drag. There we are. You can place it directly where they're asking or off to the side. I'm going to put it right on top. There we are. As we go to the next step, we're going to move that out of the way. We're going to put a work plane on top. The work plane allows you to drop other objects at a particular height, such as flush with the top of a different object. Now, you don't have to use the work plane in order to do this. We can also, and we're going to go to the Design Starters here. Design Starters. We can also place objects directly on smooth sides. So for example, with this cube, we don't need the work plane. We can drag this directly to the top face that we want. I turn this up here. I like to have this built off to the side because you'll notice that they're going to have their directions here and they kind of overlap sometimes, and that can be a little bit of a hassle. So I'm going to build mine just off to the side. So I've moved. My number one is now flush with the top, but we want it to cut into the surface. So I'm going to use this black cone on top. I'm going to click it with the left mouse button and I'm going to push it down just 1 millimeter. See that -1 there? Now it's embedded into the dice, and when I make it a hole, when we group these, it's going to cut out part of that dice. As I bring out the 2, I'm going to put it on the front side. Again, they are doing the same step, except they're putting a work plane onto each side first. So feel free to put the work plane in there, but it's not a necessity. Again, here's that cone. If we change the angle here, you can see there's the cone. I'm going to push it backwards into the dice, 1 millimeter. Make it a hole. Going to put the number 3 on this side. Going to hit more shapes for that one. Click and drag it to the side. And then push it in 1 millimeter. Again, make it a hole. On to number 4. That's going to go on the opposite side. Keep on going with number 5. And number 6 is actually going to be underneath. Sometimes you might need to change the angle to be able to find that cone easily. There we are. Again, make it a hole. There we are. We've just caught up. Now we are going to group these all together. So in order to do that, we're going to select all of the numbers and the dice by clicking and dragging over top of all of it. And we're going to select, we can see all 7 shapes up here. We're going to select group up at the top. That's going to group together all of our objects so that they form the cutouts that we're looking for. This is now a printable object with a number imprinted onto each side. Yay! Now, to get the file that you're going to need, we're going to export this. These instructions are down at the bottom. We're going to click Export from the upper right window and select the .obj file. So, Export, .obj, and there it goes. You're going to want to send this whole file to the email that we're going to show in just a moment. So, next up, log into your personal email account, and you're going to email to ics.computer.2@outlook.com. You're going to put the whole folder into that email. You're going to send that email to the ICS computer. It's going to be next to the 3D printers that we're going to be using at the community center. And there at that computer, you're going to download that OBJ file and use the Bamboo Labs app in order to print your file. That is called slicing. So in our next video guide, we'll show you how to use the Bamboo Labs 3D printer at the Innovation Center of Stoughton. Best of luck, and I'll see you in the lab.